did a video last night going over one of Louis Vuitton's iconic bags, the Artsy, and I promised you guys that I was going to come back in a month, but I just been looking at her. I've been looking at the other two HOBO bags that I fell instantly in love with, and I just want to do another video. I just have to. And this video is going to be like a little comparison between the three. So I'm going to try to be able to capture it all. First, I'm going to grab the Graceful, which she has appeared in several of my videos. We all know that one thing about the Graceful is the Graceful does not have feet. Right, she doesn't have feet, but I'm gonna be honest with you, the way this bag is made, the Graceful is, the MM is such a large bag that even if she had feet, I really don't know if the feet would even matter with this mess, the way that this bag is structured, because the Artsy is made a little different. Can a HOBO bag have feet and the feet work for it? I think in a smaller HOBO style, but because this is such a massive style, like, let me give you an example. The carry-all is a beautiful HOBO bag. I absolutely love my carry-all in the Noir black, and she has feet, and that bag is awesome. So just to let you know, I don't just have HOBOs in monogram. I have HOBOs in the leather, black epi leather as well. But this video is really based on the three that's most similar in the monogram canvas, because I do have the damier bean version of the Graceful as well. So there you have it. Anyway, so I digress. So the Graceful and the Artsy, similarities. Let's see. I don't really know if they have, they definitely have similarities, because both of them are HOBOs. And I'm gonna be honest, I thought last night when I was looking at the Artsy that the Artsy stood up higher than the Graceful. But the Graceful is a pretty overpowering bag. As well as the Sully. Because you guys, you know the Sully was set to be my bag of the year last year, 2023. But the Noe, the GM Noe and the monogram ended up being my bag of the year. But she definitely could have been the third runner-up, because the Montaigne was number 2. But this bag, if you ever find a Sully or a Berry, which is the Berry is the replacement for the Sully. There was some issues with the Sully canvas, and when they came back out with the Sully replacement, they called it the Berry, and they put vachetta leather on the corners. And I was set to get a Berry, but when talking about being wasteful, when I looked at it, it is the exact same bag. The only difference is it has vachetta on the corners. And because I'm not having any issues on the corner of this bag, I don't need to get a bag just exactly like it with vachetta on it. It's just, that would be what you call a pure waste of money. So yeah, so she's done well. She's well, and she does not have much vachetta on her, right? So these are the three that to me are most similar and my favorite out of my HOBOs. The carry-all in the epi black leather is my favorite Louis Vuitton bag of all time. That bag is so perfect. It is pure perfection in the MM size. It's more like a GM size. The bag is humongous. But if you ever see the carry-all in the black epi leather, it is to die for. It's one of the best made bags that Louis Vuitton ever created. It is. It is a workhorse, all of that, but that's not what this video is about. I did a video on it before, and I can do another one on it maybe later or whatever this year. Year's just beginning. It's still January until midnight, so hey. So I'm looking at these 3 bags, and I was trying to get them all on the camera. I don't know. They're kind of big, so I don't know if all 3 of them can fit. Remember, I'm still shaping her, so that's why she's slouching. So the 3 things that, well, the 3 things. The first things that I noticed right off the top about these 3 bags, about these 3 HOBO bags, is the handles. I think Louis Vuitton was just experimenting and doing some different things, and trying to find their way on exactly what they want to do. And I could have had the Delightful in this video as well, but she sold, and she's on her way to her person who will have and cherish her. So thank God. I did not reach for the Delightful. I had nothing against the Delightful. She just was not very delightful for me. Nothing against it. People love the Delightful. I just don't. I don't know. It just didn't do it. The Graceful is it when it comes to those 2 variables. Some people like the Graceful. Some people like the Delightful. I like the Graceful. That's just it. Okay. Anyway, I digress. So with these 3 bags, you can tell that Louis Vuitton did their experimenting and trying to find their way on what they want to do. Because this one, to me, and the Artsy were out together at the same time, right? With the Sully, you get instant crescent with the Sully. With these 2, not so much. And that's the difference between HOBOs. Some HOBOs, you're going to get this. That crescent moon that everybody loves about that dip in the HOBO style, right? That space that people crave for. That I can't wait for this to do, right? And then with some HOBO styles, you get the slouch. You get the slouch, laziness, it just does whatever. And it's a beautiful, beautiful sight. A little structured. The Graceful is a little slouchy without the, my Graceful has an organizer in it. So if she did not have an organizer in it, she'd be more flimsy, more like how the Artsy is right now. But she has the organizer in it, just kind of keeping her from doing all that. So with her, looking at her, she is the HOBO style that's more slouchy. You see the difference? So there's different styles of HOBOs, but the HOBO comes from the HOBOs that has the bag that looks most commonly like this. But these give the slouch and that dip once you have it on and packed and all of that. This one, once you put something in it, you don't even have to shape it up or anything. It automatically goes there. Just like the carry-all. It just automatically starts to shape. Another thing that I see about these, you can tell that Louis Vuitton was trying it with all of their different styles of HOBOs. With the Sully, I like the zipper pulls on the Sully. I like having that little vachetta, little tips right here. I love that about it. I love those brass zippers. You can tell they're brass. I love the attention to detail on the hooks on here where it says Louis Vuitton. My Graceful fell. You guys, I gotta get it off the floor. She does not belong on the floor. Okay. These bags are big, y'all. I'm not in a good place to do the video. I may have to do this video over, but I'm gonna try to get through it. My little setup is kind of weird right now. But the tabs on the Sully, this what I was. The vachetta on here, I like that little touch on there with the tabs. I love the piping on here. The Delightful looks like they got the piping. And as you can see, she does not have feet. Very roomy. Now, you can tell she's heavy. She's stuffed. Which one of these would take the most? I don't know if either one of these would take more than the other one, but I can tell you off the bat that the Artsy is bigger than all of them. So it would be Sully, Graceful, Artsy in size. As far as small to large. Large to small, go the opposite way. The top heaviness of it is the Graceful. The Graceful sits up higher than these two bags. She sits up higher. All three of these don't have that much vachetta. With the new Artsy that I have, comparable to the older version of this bag, the older version of the Artsy did not have the frame vachetta on it. Some people like the old Artsy. I didn't have the old Artsy to feel any way about not getting the old Artsy, but I think I would have been happy with either one because, like I'm going to tell you, vachetta does not scare me, and I am somebody that happens to like vachetta. I think it's beautiful. I think it tells the life of the bag when it starts to age, when it starts to turn, when it starts to darken. So to each their own. This is just me giving my opinion about the style and the way I like to see the bag age. Some people don't like vachetta, so you have the option of going to damier bean. Where it's I call it an all-weather bag because you're not going to have to worry about it being treated leather or because it's treated leather, or if you want to jump up a notch, 1,000 or 2, and get the epi leather. I would not buy epi leather off of the website from Louis Vuitton. I would scan the gently used sites and different places where you can get epi leather at a more reasonable price than buying it directly from the luxury house, because epi leather is very, very expensive. So even though I like luxury handbags, I'm always looking for a deal. I'm just being honest with you. So let's just keep going. That's pretty much where they start. Oh, the rings. The rings are different. On this ring, I want to say on the Delightful, I didn't use it that much, guys. I think the rings on the Delightful can come off. I'm almost certain they can. You can unclasp some. I don't know why anybody would take them off unless you are putting on a total different strap on it. Hey, I don't know. But yes, they open. The clasps of them open. I don't know if there was an added feature or something like that that they added to it. And don't quote me on that because I never, that bag is basically brand new. So somebody, the purchaser of that bag is getting a brand new bag. They got a steal on it because I just never carried it. But anyway, I digress. The rings on here on the Sully, the ring is very small. So I'm wondering, and if you notice the change, I just noticed it. On the Sully, the ring is attached to vachetta. You see that? It's attached to vachetta leather right here. And that's a little touch of class right there. The little divot with the Louis Vuitton embossed right there. This bag is, you guys, if you want a hobo bag that's not expensive, you won't see it that often, canvas the gently used site for the Sully or her daughter, the Berry. I promise you, you're going to love it. If you like a hobo bag and you like a bag that's not seen often at all, canvas the gently used site for Sully. I promise you, you will love it. The Sully is an awesome hobo bag. But the rings on here was attached to the vachetta. Look at that. That is just so beautiful. And then they put the Louis Vuitton on. They just put the touch of class on everything on this bag. The Sully is just a subtle, beautiful, classy bag, you guys. It's so beautiful. As y'all already know, I'm in love with the Graceful. The same with the Graceful. The little divots here have Louis Vuitton on them. And they didn't put Louis Vuitton on here, but the Graceful and the Artsy have the loops going through the bag. And the Sully does not. I'm wondering if there was some issues that was not made publicly, or a lot of people didn't have those issues, where they changed up the looping and started putting the looping through the bag instead of attaching the looping on top of the bag with vachetta. I think this makes more sense to have it going through. And with the Graceful, it folds into like a fold inside. That's why this bag stays like this, because of how this loop gathers the two sides of the bag together and kind of cinches it in. That's why it's cinched like that, because of the looping. This one is the Artsy is different in that way. It goes through the bag, through the loop, but it's tapered right here, and then it goes down into that beautiful triangle. And this, oh, it's just so beautiful. With the, and mine is still spanking brand new, so it's some folds and stuff that's got to be worked out, y'all. Y'all know how it does. It's got to, the folds got to fall out. So it hadn't fell out yet, but, so those are major differences between these bags. So, let's see. The canvas. Let me just tell y'all something. The canvas is different. This canvas, and it's going to sound weird or funny, this canvas feels like my Speedy 50. The Carryall 50. My overnight bag, Speedy 50. This bag, the monogram canvas, it feels like luggage. It's thicker. It's more, it's thick. It really is. This is very soft on the Graceful, and the new Artsy is butter. Both of these, if I didn't know for a fact that they were monogram, I would think these were a really, really soft textured leather, because they've done something to the canvas and they've softened it. So the canvas, all three of these canvases feel different. This one is more thicker, like luggage. This one is soft, like a sweet sunny day. And this one feels like just perfection, just beautiful, just beautiful. Okay, so let's go to the handles. I love the handles on the Sully, the handle on the Sully. Now, if you didn't know, just giving a little background history on the Sully. This is the new version of the Sully. The original version of the Sully, the strap was smaller than this, but it was like 10 times thicker. It was like thick leather, and it was like half of this size. And there was issues with it. I have not really gotten the detail of what, and I don't like to say something that may or may not be true. But I do know that it was thicker, and they changed it out for long, similar to the original, but longer, and still made in that different style, and very, very comfortable, and not as thick, right? But it's still thick. It's much thicker than the Graceful, but it's not anywhere near as thick as the ones that I've seen online, that people that have the original one. So they changed that out. So I'm thinking maybe they changed that out to try to take care of whatever issues they were having with the strap, and then there started being issues with the canvas. So they just said, you know what, we just gonna get rid of the Sully altogether, and we just gonna make a berry version of the bag. And berry means new, so it's a new version of the Sully, where they took all the issues away and gave it a new, different look, but very much the same style. With the Graceful, y'all already know I don't have any cons on the Graceful at all. This strap is one of the best straps I've ever had on any bag I've ever owned. It is perfect. The way that it goes in and just caters to your body. When you have this bag on, whether you're carrying the MM or the PM version of the Graceful, it's just pure perfection. You forget. Somebody like me that carries a large bag, she's just on you. She's a part of your attire. Of course, when you sit down with your girls out or shopping or whatever you're doing, of course you're going to take the bag off your shoulder. But what I'm trying to say is, even though she's such a large bag, she's not bothersome. She caters to you. And then not to mention how it's something you have to experience in person. Because I can't really describe it, but it is the best comfortable feeling canvas that I've ever felt. It's just perfect. Now, what the concern that I had about the Artsy is going away slowly, because I did a lot of reading before I took the plunge, right? This strap scared the living daylights out of me, because I was just so worried that it was going to bother my shoulder. But it does not. Now, it does have to be broken in. That's why mine is not sitting up like an arch, like y'all's are sitting up like an arch. Mine hasn't been broken in. This is fresh out the garden, brand new, right? So that's why she's so white, and that's why she's not arched. I have to carry her a little bit longer. The strap is growing on me. When I had it on today, when I went out for lunch, it did not bother my shoulder at all. I was a little nervous because it gathered right here, where there's crinkling, not necessarily crinkled, but like if you ever owned a brand new Artsy, not a gently used Artsy, you know that the Artsy comes flat like this, flat like the Graceful strap. It's flat, right? Well, that's not the way the Artsy was meant to be. It was meant to be an artsy. So it's gonna eventually mold into an art where it stays up like this. It's gonna get there over time, but as it's getting there, because this came as a straight leather strap, you're bending the strap, so this is going to crease or wrinkle. And I called my CA, and I was like, oh my, she was like, it's gonna crinkle, Lisa. The leather is straight, right? So if you're folding leather, it's gonna do like any other skin, and it's gonna crinkle because you're bending it. So all my fears went away. It's lifting up even more than it was yesterday. Yesterday it was flat, y'all, flat. But it's getting there. So that's where it all ends. The similarities. The straps are beautiful. The rings, it's monogram. They're all three HOBOs, but these are all three different HOBO style bags. They are. The berry with the zipper. There's a place for her wherever I go with the zipper. I can load her up like she's loaded right now, and she can easily be just an extra bag that I have packed with all whatever in it, and be good. Same with the Graceful. Everybody knows the Graceful has that magnetic. And some people, because I've even heard on videos, some people's magnetic strip doesn't find it the other side. I don't understand that. Maybe because I haven't carried my Graceful that much and she's not that packed. But my Graceful's magnet will close even when I'm just sitting. Just like the Clooney. It'll just close. It'll find the other side and close up. So I don't know. Maybe because I don't keep my bags packed. That it does that. I don't know. But I don't really have that issue with the magnetic part of this bag, the Graceful not staying closed. And I've heard several people say that. The Artsy, and maybe because she's new, she stays closed. And there's no magnetic strip in her. So she stays closed as well. She's got the 6 pockets. I have an organizer in her, and I'm going to wait because I'm getting one that I want similar to the color of this bag, but one that's is supposed to be one that keeps your bag from getting any dirt or anything on it. So I'm going to keep what I have in here, but the MM never full. And I have a GM organizer, but the GM organizer is in my GM never full, and I don't take her out because the GM never full is one of my overnight carrying bags, so I don't really empty her out. But I want to get one that fits the Artsy for the pockets, and I mean not for the pockets, for the organization, and because the bag is so light on the inside. So I don't want to have to worry about something getting inside this bag that I've waited so long to get. But that's where it ends. So people probably, because some people ask me, well, why would you need so many HOBO bags, Lisa, when you already got this, and that, and the other HOBO style bag, right? Well, because all of them are the same but different. They're HOBO style bags. Can I use all 3 of these for the same purpose? In a sense, I could. Would I put a tablet inside the Sully? I could, but it would be more beneficial for me to put it in the Graceful. Could I carry either one of these overnight? Of course I could, but I would not carry the Artsy as an overnight bag or the Graceful. But I would carry the Sully because the Sully has zippers, right? Everything else, I can do everything else that's needed to be done with all 3 of these bags. I can interchange them out. They'll all get their fair use. I promise I'm going to carry her because because I was looking and I kind of laughed because the Vachetta, she's a year old. And the Vachetta on the Graceful is almost the same color as the Artsy. And the Artsy is almost stark white. Now, there is a Vachetta on the Graceful, but that lets you know how little I've actually carried my favorite bag. But they're almost the exact same Vachetta color. That lets you know she has not gotten out much. But she's going to get out this year. Because she's probably going to end up being darker than her. Honestly, she's gonna end up being darker than her. The Sully definitely, the Vachetta on here was done over by the previous owner, not me. So they got the strap done over and all that stuff. So hey, got a brand new bag. When you get a new Vachetta on a bag and the canvas is fine, you pretty much got a new bag from Louis Vuitton. But anyway, this is a comparison of the 3, my 3 HOBO favorites, the Sully, the Artsy, and the Graceful. This is one of the examples that I was trying to say last year. I either instantly love a bag or I instantly do not. That's just how I am. Either I love it, I'm going to reach for it, I'm going to think about it, I'm going to figure out ways of what outfit I'm going to wear when I first wear it. And this is one of those bags that did that. I know that I made the right choice. Not so much with the Delightful, not so much with the other bags that I'm getting rid of. The favorite, I love the favorite, the original favorite in the monogram, the soft favorite. just bags that I instantly fell in love with. The Montaigne, I instantly fell in love with the Montaigne. The Diane, I loved her before I even got her. Of course, the Speedy, the Neverfull, all of those instantly reach for them at any time. But if I'm not reaching for it, if I have not found an opportunity to reach for her and carry her as the bag of the day, she probably won't be in my inventory because it's wasteful. The only bag that will be in my inventory, or my inventory, I'm not selling anything, but the only ones that I'll have, that I will remain and I will keep, that I'm not using or utilizing that often, are bags that are limited editions. Like the Dots from last year. I can't think of her name. I have the Neverfull. I really truly got her because it is a limited edition. I have to be honest. If I had known then what I know now, I would have waited for the pumpkins. But because if you didn't know, the Neverfull limited editions are almost double the cost of the regular Neverfulls. So there's no way in the world I would have been able to talk my husband into getting 2 limited edition Neverfulls. If I knew then what I know now, I would have waited for the pumpkin. But I didn't know the pumpkin was coming out. And hey, I love the Dots, but I love the pumpkins even more. I'm an October baby, so do with it what you will. But anyway, I digress. So I'm very happy with these purchases. You will see different videos. I'm going to do wear and tear on the Artsy. I'm definitely going to do a video when the Artsy turns into the arch that I'm waiting to see, and do some mod shots as well with all three to give you that plus size look, to let you know the plus size girls are still fabulous in our fashion wear as well. But anyway, this was not meant to be a detailed video, just a little quick comparison video of the HOBO bags, my favorite style bags of all time, and just to you know, just do a little highlight from last night. Nothing really has changed with the Artsy. Still waiting for her to start to form into her own. She still has a lot of folds and creases in them that will work itself out from when the bag was in the box. But it'll work itself out. I'm not really worried about that. She's just pure perfection right now, you guys. But be blessed, be safe out there, take care of yourselves, make peace, and spend time with family, because when it comes down to it, family is all we have, you guys. Be blessed, be peaceful, and stay great. Bye.